I would love to hear it. Okay.
The kids and I were driving in Marietta, Georgia, on a 4-lane road.
When was this?
Like 9, 10 years ago.
Okay.
Okay. A man was swerving into our lane with his window down, yelling, "You bitch" at me.
Okay.
I was like, holy cow. So I had the 3 kids in the back of my car. They were little. I pulled off on a side road to let him pass me. He went right in front of my car and started screaming at me. I called the police. The police said, "Can you leave?" I put my car in reverse. He ran to the back of my car. He started filming inside of my car, my children. My children are screaming, crying. My kids remember that day. It was terrifying. He's filming us.
That's not the story the police tell.
Okay, go on.
Right. They tell a one-sided story.
Okay, go on. Hold on. I want to hear. Hold on. I want to hear the rest of your story.
Okay. So then I'm like, he won't let me leave. He runs to the front of my car when I try to leave. The police come in and they're like, calm down, calm down. They're like, if you don't calm down, we'll tase you. And yeah, he's like, F you to the police. They tase him. And he goes to jail. I had nothing to do with him going to jail.
Well, that's not how the police tell the story. The police tell the story that you followed the guy home.
I would never follow anyone home.
So the police are lying.
How do you know what the police said about it?
Because they have statements in that article.
Yes, from him and them. And it tells one side. And if you read the police report, the statement I gave to Cobb County Police, it's a lot different. It's a lot different.
She was driving a car and she was texting with children in the car. And this guy saw her and he was triggered because a family member had been killed from a driving, texting person. And he told her to stop and that she was outraged, followed him home.
I don't know where he lives. Why would I follow someone home with my 3 young kids in the back?
She pulled behind him in his driveway, came out. She was yelling at him. He filmed her because he thought she was getting crazy.
He filmed me.
She called the police. The police come. They pulled her aside. She said, he won't let me leave. They threw him to the ground. He got injured.
Yeah.
And then they took him to jail.
Yeah.
In front of his neighbors. Got him to jail and realized that Katie was the aggressor, not him, and he was released.
Because I couldn't even tell my side. I didn't even go to court because they served my ex-husband.
Why did they serve your ex-husband? Was he in the car?
No, they went to his house because that was my address at the time on my license or whatever. My lawyer said, "Did you know you had this date?" And I said, "No, what is it?" So I didn't show up. So I'm immediately guilty because I never showed up. At the time, I was literally homeless with 3 kids. Like, we had nowhere to go. So they served my ex-husband. So I didn't even know about it.
I don't think they can serve your ex-husband. I think they have to serve.
They left it because that was my address on my license. They left it. Like,
I don't think they can do that.
That was horrifying. Kylie and Gavin still remember it. They're terrified of that.
But do you see, I feel like it's a pattern with you that every time you get called out on something, there's just an excuse for everything. There's a story that's always different than someone else's story.
It's just a lot of investigation here. Like, I knew nothing about this. Like,
it's all over the internet. No one's investigating.
I don't look that often.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. I don't do that.
You started the day by saying, I don't want to be in an environment where people dig stuff up on other people.
Digging things up on people, it's enough.
You're bringing up a lot of stuff.
I think she thinks that if it's in the public domain where you're just flipping through Instagram and there's an article.
What I'm saying is, I'm not calling any attorney. I'm not hiring a sub rosa. I'm not calling for paparazzi.
Okay.
It's like, it's in the bloggers. It's out. It's everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, it is out.
You don't have to dig for anything.
Okay, well, any other questions for her?
I just have a question about, I saw an article and I read it, and it was about when you were first divorced, you didn't have physical or legal custody of your children. I don't understand how something like that happens because here in California, for you to lose both physical and legal, you have to be unfit or you sign papers and say, I don't want anything to do with my kids.
What happened?
I was living in, I can't say the name, in a facility in Atlanta. My parents, who lived 20 minutes from me, wouldn't help me because they wouldn't agree with that I was divorcing my ex-husband. So he was immediately awarded the kids because I could not provide a place for them to live.
But why was it legal custody as well? That's the part that doesn't make sense to me.
I don't
mean, because to
know.
lose legal custody is just decision-making power. So it has to do with, the health and wellness of the kids.
At the time, I thought, you know what? Right now, this is okay. You know, I was trying to get my life together to figure out how I could get them back.
How did you get custody back?
We went to court a few times to fight it.
And you wound up building a life for yourself and getting custody back?
Yeah.
Wow.
How long were they in his custody?
It was 18 months until we could go back.
But were you still like co-parenting and doing your thing with the kids?
I never missed a time either. I never missed a time with my kids. That was horrible, horrible time.
I'm sorry, honey. It's okay. Do you need a tissue?
All right, we are gonna leave it there.
I hate talking about my ex-husband.